Welcome into Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. Today's video is a look at 5 trade-up candidates in the 2022 NFL Draft. Big-name players who maybe the Ravens could go out and be aggressive to acquire to help their playoff and Super Bowl push this year. Before we break down the top 5 names, it's trivia time here at Ravens Rundown. Who is the Ravens' all-time leader in receiving touchdowns? Head down to the comment section, let me know who you think it is, and later on in today's video, make sure you watch all the way through, we'll give you guys the correct answer. First up on the trade targets, Kayvon Thibodeaux, the edge rusher out of Oregon, who, early this year, both preseason and after the season, he was hyped as a potential number 1 overall pick. The buzz lately, maybe he slides a little bit. Oh, by the way, when he was asked by CBS Sports who's your favorite player, he mentioned Ray Lewis. Wouldn't he love, I'm sure, to be able to find a way to get to play for his team that had his favorite player growing up? Wouldn't that be fun? Given the apparent off-the-field concerns for Kayvon Thibodeaux, maybe that makes sense, that you could go up and get him and solidify your edge rushing group with a player who should probably be viewed more as a top 5 player in this year's class than what he's necessarily being hyped on. The upside, which I believe is immense, and he's a fantastic athlete, is certainly there. There are concerns about how, maybe he's not the number 1 guy in terms of the ego or the full focus on football. But he's really good at Oregon. There's a lot of anti-Oregon chatter as happened with guys like Justin Herbert with, hey, does he love football enough? The answer is pretty clearly yes. So with that in mind, would you want the Ravens to trade up for Kayvon Thibodeaux in this year's draft? Type in a Y for yes or type in N for no. I'm going to make this question the pinned comment on today's video. Y for yes, N for no. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. All right, Ahmad Gardner, next up here, the Cincinnati Bearcats corner. The problem is you might have to get up to number 4 if the Jets want him, or above number 4, but hey, you know what? Maybe he slides to 6 or something. That could start to make sense at that standpoint. And Gardner on this roster in the cornerback room is so tantalizing because he was special at Cincinnati. The guy didn't really get beat, and when he did, it was never for a touchdown this past year. Or ever in his collegiate career. He never allowed a touchdown at Cincinnati. 3 interceptions past year. The passer rating almost looks like a typo. It's so low. It's not. He simply did not get beat. Now, Sauce Gardner tweeted out that he's the best player in the draft. And Lamar Jackson said, hey, you should come to the Ravens. Maybe you make your quarterback happy. I do love how Lamar is recruiting draft picks, which isn't really how it works, but I applaud him for it nonetheless there. Lamar would love Sauce Gardner. I would too. You have to go up and get him, but that's the whole purpose of this video, right? Because he's not going to be there for you with your normal pick in round 1. Now, we'll have the best NFL draft coverage out there for the Baltimore Ravens for you guys. So subscribe and turn on noties to get all of our NFL draft content. Hit that notification bell because not that many of you actually do. Like 15% or so actually have notifications set to all. So turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a single thing here on our Ravens YouTube channel. We'll be live, by the way, for the entirety of the NFL Draft on our Chat Sports YouTube channel. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description. Every single pick broken down for every single player. Let's talk offensive line now. How about Ikem Ekwonu as an offensive line target? Now, Ekwonu could go number 3, could go number 5, whatever. Again, you're hoping that one of these guys slides a little bit so it's more palatable to move up and get them. But I have concerns about Ronnie Stanley, unfortunately. I am worried about him being able to stay healthy, and the Ravens have kind of not given a firm answer about how reliable he's going to be able to be for this organization. So that's a concern. And if you're really worried about it, go up and get a good player. What you could do if Stanley stays healthy, you lock in Ekwonu at left guard. And then the Benz, Cleveland, or Powers, whoever it ends up being, they stay as backups, and you feel great about your offensive guard depth. In the event Stanley simply cannot stay healthy, Well, now you have left tackle, I think, is actually a perfect fit for what the Ravens want to do on the offensive line. So when it comes to Ronnie Stanley, I want you to be honest with me in the comments section. Are you worried about his health? Type W for, yeah, you're concerned about him staying healthy, or type G for, nah, it's good, there's nothing to worry about, he's going to be just fine long term. Sound off honestly for me in the comment section right now. Number 4 of our 5, Garrett Wilson, the, I think, number 1 receiver who will be taken this year out of Ohio State. I don't consider receiver that big of a need for the Ravens. They've got bodies, but if you could get a true number 1 dynamic threat to pair with Marquise Brown and Rashad Bateman, that's fun to me, and I think you could play Wilson in the slot some in his rookie to help him adjust to life against NFL press coverage. He was awesome at Ohio State. His body control is some of the best in this year's class. If you want to have more success come playoff time, I think you have to unlock your passing game. Lamar Jackson with my receiver 1 and Garrett Wilson, Marquise Brown, and Rashad Bateman. Yeah, it's a lot of first-round picks at receiver. I don't care. I want playmakers, and you maybe don't pay Marquise Brown long term. It's okay with me. That helps you unlock that in the long run. All right, trivia answer time. The answer is Todd Heap, which might sound a bit weird, and Marquise Brown's actually tied for 5th all-time, which is kind of crazy. But Todd Heap is the all-time leader in receiving touchdowns for the Ravens. So if you got it right, congratulations. If you didn't, maybe we'll try this out again in the future. Let's double dip at the edge rusher spot with Travon Walker, who earlier in the draft process you could have easily seen as maybe he's an option for you at 14. Now, shoot, there's buzz. He might go number 1 overall, which I don't like at all. In the Ravens' defense, even though he could play some 3 technique in the NFL, it'd probably be an edge rusher, the 3-4 edge opposite of Dafe Owe. Walker's production was not great, and that is I think, a bigger red flag than what apparently the NFL seems to think, but he is a rocked-up athlete who is off the charts good in terms of his athletic testing. The upside is unbelievable if you can make him into a better pass rusher. He has not been great at Georgia. They didn't always let him loose with their scheme, but you're hoping for more production out of a premium draft pick. However, if he slides to 7 or so, maybe you make the call to go get a guy that some think is the one of, if not the best prospect in this year's class. So that was my list of 5. I want you to name a player who you want to trade for. Maybe it's a name I did mention. Maybe it's a name I did. Either way, drop a name or names in the comments section.